I just dread to think what that points matrix is at the moment. Who was our man in America again who made it? Ken March. Ken March. Well, he's come up with a great formula for these heat races, and it's just working, absolutely working. So, Ken, if you're listening to this, absolutely top marks, mate. We love you for this one. And it's just, I just can't remember a better day of British Rental Kart Championship racing. Actually, I haven't even seen it this good at the World Championship, and I've raced in a couple of them, you know.
It's a great spread, isn't it? Everybody seems to have a really nice mixed bag of people they're racing against, which is exactly the intention. This is another one of those races, so there's a couple of guys in this that I would probably tip to be right in the front. Joris Sturm nearly won a race earlier before he was demoted to last place for pitting after the last lap, last chance to pit board, and then failing to do a correct pit stop on that final chance pit stop. And obviously Bjorn Vermeulen won a race earlier today. I don't know, maybe he won two, I can't even remember, but he certainly had one race win. We've got some people with point to prove, and let's see if they're about to do it now.
Absolutely. Well, the times are coming in now. I think Bjorn Vermeulen, we haven't seen him cross the line yet, but if he doesn't win this, I think he'll consider this one that got away. He's got to be favourite going in. Joris Sturm has taken provisional pole. Arnaud Tinet, second place. Arnaud Tinet, the Frenchman. Well, it's got to be said, Arnaud Tinet is everybody's favourite Frenchman.
I didn't, so I'll see you in a minute.
Okay, so Brad Philpott is going to be supporting Arnaud Tinet there. Arnaud Tinet has been dropped to third, but what about this? The Bjorn Vermeulen on the pole, an incredible 34.7. He knows he just needs to get this done. If Bjorn Vermeulen does not win this race, I'm sure he will consider this is the one that got away. So pressure on him. Joris Sturm, if we were going to go for a second place to Bjorn Vermeulen, who would it be? Joris Sturm would be the obvious answer, and that's what we've got in the qualifying. So Sturm in second place. Arnaud Tinet, what do we say? You know, I almost want them to cancel this race right now so that Tinet does not lose that third, because it's going to be so easy to lose that third. That's an outstanding lap from the Frenchman there. He's got Ryan Jones. We've seen Ryan getting very racy today, so Tinet is going to have his hands full, and have his hands full right from the start it will be. Luke Hornsby. Luke Hornsby is another one who, well, you know, on any given day he might run at the front in this, so, you know, he's going to be wanting to improve on that fifth. We've got Paul Davis, Brad Philpott there on screen, waving at Arnaud Tinet. There's Arnaud Tinet waving back, saying, "Yep, mate, I know I'm third." Here comes Bjorn Vermeulen. We've got Paul Davis 6th, Alex Van Gien 7th, Chris Matchell 8th, Kieran Gallagher 9th, Franklin Richter 10th, and Bjorn Vermeulen gets this one underway. It's Vermeulen from Sturm from Tinet, and surely in the attack immediately is going to be Ryan Jones. But Arnaud Tinet, what a performance there from the Frenchman. As I said, he's everybody's favourite Frenchman down here today, and holding down third place. But it's Bjorn Vermeulen, and Bjorn Vermeulen really is going to try and get this one done on this opening lap. I don't think Bjorn is going to be interested in the race. Alex Van Gien, we can see a great move by Alex Van Gien there, very opportunistic right at the inside, and that moves him up a place. But no, has he been got back? It's exciting. It's still side by side down there, but it's not involving Alex Van Gien. Alex Van Gien does look like he's made the move work, and Van Gien, I believe, could be 6th. Yes, he is. He's moved up ahead of Chris Matchell. His sights are now on Luke Hornsby. Meantime, onto the backstretch, it is Bjorn Vermeulen, obviously fastest on that lap. Bjorn Vermeulen, he's got Joris Sturm chasing him down, but I think for Bjorn Vermeulen is going to be very keen to get rid of this. Everybody enjoys a good race, but I don't think Bjorn Vermeulen's very interested in racing this one. He just wants the result, and the result he wants, first place, without a doubt. He's already into 34 seconds, 34.7. Bjorn Vermeulen means business up at the front. Joris Sturm is trying to run away with him. Joris Sturm is showing great form to pull away from Arnaud Tinet, but Bjorn Vermeulen is absolutely on it, and he's not hanging around for anybody. Meantime, the race is back for third. It's Arnaud Tinet. Arnaud Tinet holding off a very racy Ryan Jones and Luke Hornsby and Alex Van Gien and Paul Davis, and this is gonna hot up this one. Arnaud Tinet is he's going to be keen to hang on to that third place. We've not seen him run this high in a British Championship. Oh, we've got someone in the pits. It's the 21 car. That one, of course, is Kieran Gallagher. Kieran Gallagher is a driver who does need some points from this, so Kieran resumes in 10th, but that's simply because he's the only one who's been in the pits. We'll see how that works out. Bjorn Vermeulen coming round the hairpin at the end of the straight. There's Joris Sturm. Here's Arnaud Tinet, though, with Ryan Jones and Luke Hornsby on his case. Alex Van Gien is closing in on that group now. Alex Van Gien is trying to bridge the gap. There's Tinet third crossing the line. Jones absolutely on him. Another pit stop visitor. It's the 9. Who's in the 9? Chris Matchell. Chris Matchell. Another one who's going to try and sneak in there. Oh, has he overdone it? Has he overdone it? Oh, good getaway there. He almost overshot the line. He's going to be caught by Kieran Gallagher, possibly, but Matchell has done enough to stay actually quite well in front of Gallagher. Meantime, it's Arnaud Tinet who has lost a place to Ryan Jones. Arnaud Tinet has lost a place. Well, look, he's lost another place, but he's coming back. Hornsby lunges up the inside, and he's going to lose a place to Alex Van Gien. Very racy. Poor old Arnaud Tinet. It was, unfortunately, I mean, with the best will in the world, it was going to happen sooner or later, and unfortunately it's happened in one lap. And we've seen Arnaud drop from 3rd to 6th. Arnaud Tinet, that is the expense. Well, he has lost all those places. Bundling him back has been Ryan Jones, Luke Hornsby, Alex Van Gien, not people known for their mercy. Here comes Ryan Jones. He's trying to close that gap now on Joris Sturm. That could be a big ask, to be honest. Luke Hornsby loses some time there with a big sideways moment, and Alex Van Gien and the recovering Arnaud Tinet. In the pits, though, we've got Paul Davis. Paul Davis jumps into the pit lane there. I think he's seen this brewing battle between Jones, Hornsby, Van Gien and Tinet, and he wants no part of it. He feels that he's going to be better served running on his own. He's going to come out. He could well get leapfrogged by Chris Matchell. Chris Matchell closing on him as they head towards the hairpin at the top. Bjorn Vermeulen there, Joris Sturm there, and here comes the third place driver, Ryan Jones, and here's the action. It's Hornsby from Van Gien and Tinet. Tinet sort of recovering his composure. Alex Van Gien, it has to be said, that was the kind of robust pass that we see from Alex Van Gien from time to time. Alex Van Gien and Arnaud Tinet are pretty good friends, and well, they're friends they may be, but Tinet is not going to let him get away with that one. If Hornsby backs Van Gien up into Tinet, then Van Gien can expect a few little taps here and there, and to be shoved aside himself. He's looking good at a bit of a comeback drive. Here's Arnaud Tinet. There's a bit of a gap behind him to Franklin Richter. So Frank Richter is that little bit further back from Tinet. So the race leader and the fastest on the track, the pole sitter, it is Bjorn Vermeulen. There he is on screen. He's actually opened up a bit of a gap from Joris Sturm. Joris Sturm is doing his formidable best to stay with Vermeulen, but he's losing to Vermeulen. However, that intensity that he's got to close in on the race leader allows him to pull away a little bit from Ryan Jones. Ryan Jones, of course, is actually getting away from Luke Hornsby, which is a good thing, because that's a three-way fight over position, over 4th place there, with Alex Van Gien, Arnaud Tinet, and well, anything that involves Hornsby, Van Gien and Tinet could get a little bit robust from time to time, so I'm sure Ryan Jones is going to be keen to keep that bit of a gap there. These three behind, they know it's the last race of the day, they're all looking for points, and things could get a little bit fiery back there over 4th place. So Vermeulen out of shot there. Joris Sturm really a find in this particular championship. Joris Sturm, not someone we'd seen too much of so far before today, but Sturm has put in some epic performances so far today. Surely easily going to be in the semi-finals, quite possibly into a final position. A lot of points scored today by Sturm. 2nd place, all right, it might not be a race win, but it's a heck of a lot of points. The kind of points that get you through into the semi, possibly into the final itself. There's Bjorn Vermeulen. He is the... Sorry, no, that was actually Sturm that I've just been talking about, because here is Ryan Jones 3rd. Sturm's ahead of him. Now, Alex Van Gien closing down on Luke Hornsby. Luke Hornsby cannot give anything away here, because Alex Van Gien is about to get racy. Alex Van Gien down the inside, just as advertised. He taps his Tinet side with Tinet's in the barrier. Everybody's waving. Van Gien, well, he couldn't do anything but bundle Tinet out the way. Like I said, this is going to get robust back here. I didn't think he'd be that early in the race, though. These guys I thought would go a bit further. But here's Hornsby from Van Gien. Tinet's lost a lot of time. In fact, he's lost a place there. That's Frank Richter there, who's moved up ahead of Arnaud Tinet. And Richter himself is looking for some points from this. So far been finishing close to the tail. 6th place he's running in now is his best performance. Obviously, we're thinking about some pit stops at some point, and here comes Alex Van Gien just on cue there to make a pit stop. Here's Alex Van Gien. He takes the green light. He makes himself takes himself to the second point, looking for that green light. Seems to be forever. Yes, he's got it. He can go. He's lifting himself into the seat once again. It's probably psychological, but whatever makes you feel good is going to work. Bit of battle going on at the back there. That will be Matchell and Gallagher. They're running pretty close down there. Meantime, Bjorn Vermeulen still fastest on the track. A new personal best on the previous lap. Just a tenth off on that one, but that still keeps him faster than anybody else. So Bjorn Vermeulen there, and just going out of shot. There's Loris Sturm. Loris Sturm running in second place. The youngster there really putting on a fine performance. Here's Alex Van Gien. Alex Van Gien is running ahead of Paul Davies. Van Gien back in the pits, so there must have been a problem with that pit stop. I don't really know what, because he seemed to get green lights but obviously didn't. He's heading to the second stopping point. I think that was green. We'll assume it was green, but Van Gien, he's thumping the steering wheel. He knows he's lost a bunch of places. I'm sure Arnaud Tinet, the Frenchman, will have seen that. He won't be laughing at all, I'm sure, and he is now up into sixth place is Arnaud Tinet. He's chasing down Franklin Richter, and Frank Richter, in fact, he's passed him. I think we got Richter in the pit, actually, as a result. Yes, Richter is in the pits. Richter's coming out of the pits there. He's falling the clutch to Paul Davies, Chris Matchell. Richter holds on. Davies tries to fight him. He's trying the other side now. It's a bit of a tight one back there, but Richter has managed to hold on. That was quite something, because falling back in this group would have been a bad move. It's Richter, Davies, Matchell, and Kieran Gallagher there. So Frank Richter has done well to stay ahead of these guys and end up in sixth place. In the pits then, this is Arnaud Tinet. Arnaud Tinet, the Frenchman, making his stop. Now, is he going to fall straight into the middle of that Richter, Davies and Matchell fight? It looks like he might, because here comes Richter. Richter's going to try and pass him. Richter, the Danish driver, around the outside of Tinet. They're battling and bumping, and Davies is up the inside, and somebody's going to pass somebody else. The question is who? It is Tinet, but, Richter resumes ahead, but Davies is now under attack. Davies loses one place, he loses two, but he's got one back again. Good grief. Chris Matchell, Kieran Gallagher, everybody in the mix there. Paul Davies could well have been the loser there. We'll see what happens when they get to the first bit of straights. We see what's going on. Lots of bumping and boring. Tinet, Davies, Richter and Davies side by side. Richter had the inside, which is bad news for Davies, because Matchell then had a punt to him, and on it went. Oh yeah, Tinet in the pits. He must have had a problem. Callum Conway, how are you reading this race? This is getting out of hand almost, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good. Arnold got a yellow light on his first stop.
Okay, but we're just going to go back to that. We've got the 18 kart. That would be Ryan Jones into the pits out of third place. And we've seen a change of position there. Joris Sturm, Bjorn Vermeulen. It may well have been a pit stop we missed. I've got Callum Conway in the commentary booth here. Callum, a great run you just done there. You were the fastest out there, but third place. But what an incredibly tight race indeed. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was great. There was a lot of drivers out there driving really quick. Just trying to keep up with Adam Davies and Oliver Bayani was tough going, but stuck with them. Tried to move, but didn't really come off well.
Well, it came off better than quite a few other people. Piscor's behind, Sanders behind that. It was all kicking off back there. We've had a few things kicking off in this race. We'll get a grip. We've got some of the pits now. Let's get a grip on the positions here. We've got Joris Sturm in the lead. We've got Bjorn Vermeulen second. And Bjorn Vermeulen, I believe, has been in the pits. Luke Hornsby is third. Ryan Jones fourth. Frank Richter is fifth, and into the pits now. It's the 8. It's Joris Sturm. Joris Sturm pits out of the lead. Bjorn Vermeulen takes the lead again. Sturm has done enough to be comfortably ahead of Luke Hornsby, and he continues his way down the backstretch. Though, look on the TV there. That is Frank Richter having his best race of the championship so far. He's running ahead of Chris Matchell with Paul Davies in the red suit there. That's Kieran Gallagher behind him. This is the kind of intensity we saw when you were out in your race, albeit you were at the very front. It's tough out there in the middle of the battle, isn't it, Callum?
Yeah, it is. You've got to watch what's behind you and what's happening in front, making sure that you don't make any mistakes, because people behind will just take advantage of it straight away.
Absolutely, and there's a few mean-hearted folk out there that are going to lunge at anything, and that was probably the one you were in was the best race we've seen. However, we've got an equally good race, albeit further down the field. This is where the action is in this one. It's Frank Richter who's trying to hold down 5th place, but he's got Chris Matchell, he's got Paul Davis, and he's got Kieran Gallagher all lined up to take a punt at him. There's Alex Van Gien, who's had to make 2 stops. There's, oh gosh, that's Arnaud Tinet, who's also had to make 2 stops. They were running right up in this race. They've managed to collide with each other more than once so far here. They both bundled the pit stops, and now they're together on the track. This is the kind of race that makes and breaks friends, really, isn't it, with people like that. Meantime, though, there's Frank Richter. He's holding on there in that 5th place. A really sterling show. We've seen him more like 9th or 10th place so far, so Richter's doing great. There's Bjorn Vermeulen. There's Alex Van Gien, Arnaud Tinet a lap down. There, in the background there was Joris Sturm. Joris Sturm is, of course, holding down 2nd place, probably comfortably from Luke Hornsby. You'd have to say that on sheer pace, Sturm would outrun Luke Hornsby at the moment. We're looking, somewhere in the region of about half a second at least. Meantime, down the back stretch there, that is again Frank Richter. Frank Richter just always manages to get at the end of that straight still with the lead of that group. But it's looking tight, don't you think, Callum? I mean, that is a tight race going on there.
Yeah, it's very all close together. I think that Kart 8 is going to get passed by...
8 is Joris Sturm. He's running on his own. There he is, just on the... Yeah, at the moment it's Frank Richter from Chris Matchell, Paul Davis and Kieran Gallagher. They'll be the 15, the 9, the 16 and the 21. Here they are coming down there. We've gone over to Alex Van Gien and Arnaud Tinet. There they are just coming through. So that's Richter in that battle there. The 9 is Chris Matchell and then Paul Davis. How do you read this working out? Could they finish this position, or do you think it'll change?
I think if somebody makes a move, it could change all the positions. The 9's very close to making a move, I think, down the straight, because he does seem to get quite close.
Yeah, he is. Although Richter has seemed to have opened up a bit of a gap. Equally, that could have been him, the 9. When I say him, I mean Chris Matchell in the number 9, actually having to defend against Paul Davis. And the very nature of defending means he's going to lose a bit of time. As you know, Callum, it's pretty cagey out there. That could be what happened there. It may well be that Richter, who actually is showing some good pace right now, is pulling away genuinely, but equally a defensive move would have the same result.
Yeah, I think Kart 16, Paul Davis, is the one to watch for making a move, because he's getting really close.
And he's shown so far that he doesn't mind having to go up the inside of people. It's the last race of the day, the last chance before the final round of heats for these guys to get some points in the bag, and they seem to be taking the opportunity to do that. Frank Richter, of course, is the man who is showing the form out of this group here. We've not seen him run that high. There's the race leader, Bjorn Vermeulen, off the back stretch there. Here he comes round the final turn. That's Vermeulen on the hairpin there. He's going to cross the line now to start another lap. That's Van Gien and Tinet a lap down. Here's the 2nd place Sturm through that final hairpin. Sturm in the white suit. There's Bjorn Vermeulen, the leader. Next up, we're going to see, we're following around with Bjorn Vermeulen, the current race leader and fastest on the track, 34.3. This is exactly what Bjorn Vermeulen wanted. To be honest with you, Cam, Bjorn Vermeulen has got to be regarded as the most obvious choice for winner in this race. And in those situations, a fun race is not what he's looking for out of this. He wants the points, doesn't he?
Yeah, he wants to keep it in first. The times that he's setting seem to be extremely quick, so he should be very comfortable out front.
Absolutely. Whoa, Arnaud Tinet. Haha. Nearly.
That was nearly an overtake. Oh, he's been passed.
Yeah. That's Joris Sturm. Joris Sturm. Got a replay. Let's see what happens here. They're just going out of view. And look down the inside. Tinet thinks the better of it, gets locked up, and then obviously positions resumed. But I think Joris Sturm came between the two of them there. Tinet sort of bundled out the way by Sturm. A mixture of Sturm making it happen and Tinet waving him past. I'm sure we're going to see Sturm passing Van Gien. But the question is, Van Gien, when he sees a kart coming at him, will he think it's actually Arnaud Tinet or the faster driver, Joris Sturm, is putting him a lap down?
Yeah, he might go very defensive towards him.
He may well. Bjorn Vermeulen, you have to say, has got this one in the bag. 3.5 minutes remaining. It really is tight there. Here comes Frank Richter. And Bjorn Vermeulen is actually closing in on these three. Dropping away there, I think we've got Kieran Gallagher. Kieran Gallagher is the one who's just gone a lap down. Bjorn Vermeulen waving thank you. Bjorn Vermeulen doesn't need any excitement at this point from any back markers, so he's pretty great for that. Yes, there's Joris Sturm. He's managed to get away now and past the battling pair of Van Gien and Arnaud Tinet. Frankly, those two at the back there, they're just out there having a great time, really, aren't they?
Yeah,
Van Gien and Tinet.
They're having a fun race. I'm just watching to see if Arnaud's going to pass Van Gien. He's getting really close down to the last corner.
It's going to be 50-50, to be honest. If he can, he will. They've got nothing to really gain or lose. They're 9th and 10th. They've had to make a second pit stop each one, and they're kind of in it for the fun now, as that Arnaud ducks his head down. He was running third at one point, now he's running last. That kind of sums it up for him. He's been in every position in between. Joris Sturm pulling away from the little group. But having said that, they are sort of keeping a bit of a gap. There's Sturm in second. Here comes Sturm now into view. He's going to be the first one in the white suit. But there's Alex Van Gien and Arnaud Tinet. They're not really being dropped by the second place driver, who we know is fully on it, trying desperately to claw in Bjorn Vermeulen.
Yeah, they're both still going really fast, catching up to second. Well, not really letting the gap get any bigger.
Absolutely. I'm sure Sturm is actually pulling that away gradually, but he's certainly not dropping those two behind. And Sturm is fully lit, as I say, he's in second place and desperately trying to catch up with Bjorn Vermeulen. It's not going to happen, but someone like Joris Sturm, you know they're going to be flat out. You know, it's even if they're running on their own, it's going to be at full speed. Now, here comes Frank Richter. Frank Richter is still running in 5th place, looking more convincing. Oh, down the inside, Bjorn Vermeulen. What a move there. I don't think it was Chris Matchell who passed. I don't think Matchell even knew he was coming. Bjorn Vermeulen putting him a lap down, and it was a lunge from miles back, but about the cleanest lunge we've seen there all day.
No, it was quite the good overtake. He's got up to the mid-pack really quickly. He's got...
Absolutely, he's on the case of Frank Richter there. We've moved over to the 18, which is, that's Ryan Jones. Ryan Jones is in 3rd, and that's worthy of mention. Here comes Sturm in 2nd in the camera view, and then we've got the Tinet battle. Now here comes, Bjorn Vermeulen down the inside of Frank Richter. Frank Richter is obviously keen to hold on to his 5th place. He doesn't want Vermeulen fighting him out of the way, but equally he doesn't want to lose any ground to those behind. He has actually lost ground to those behind, so he did make a bit of a gap, which is now closed right in. There's Alex Van Gien and Arnaud Tinet. Tinet, whoa, up the inside there, but thought the better of it. And it's cost him a little bit of time. I think he catches the wall coming out of it as well, but like I say, they're in it for the beer, those two, aren't they? They're not looking for the win. Looking for the win, here is Bjorn Vermeulen. Bjorn Vermeulen, he's got, less than half that. In fact, I think we're going to have the checkered flag on this one. Bjorn Vermeulen is going to be given the flag. Here comes Bjorn Vermeulen across the line now. He takes the win to end the day with a victory. There is Frank Richter. He'll be pleased that he's got 5th place. That's his best result we've seen so far. Chris Matchell, Paul Davis, they're with Richter down there. Van Gien and Tinet. Sturm has taken 2nd. Ryan Jones is going to be 3rd. Here comes Ryan Jones for 3rd. And Luke Hornsby's going to be 4th. We've seen Frank Richter take 5th because he is a lap down. So a great run there, and Bjorn Vermeulen, fastest start on the track, pole position, never headed, except in the cycle of pit stops, and even then it was only to Joris Sturm. Absolutely flying in 2nd place was Joris Sturm. Ryan Jones, a great run there to 3rd place. Luke Hornsby 4th. Frank Richter 5th. Chris Matchell 6th, Paul Davis 7th. That was an interesting battle down there. Kieran Gallagher 8th, Alex Van Gien, Arnaud Tinet in 9th, keeping us entertained back there. Tinet in 10th from Van Gien in 9th. And there is the race result on screen now. Bjorn Vermeulen adding to his already formidable point score. Joris Sturm, really you've got to be looking at a semi-final now for Joris Sturm, if not final. And that does conclude the races tonight. That's it from the BRKC for the first day of the 2017 championships. What an incredible set of races we've seen. They've just got better all the time. Callum Conway, congratulations from being in probably the most exciting British Rental Kart Championship race we've seen so far. So well done indeed.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks for joining us. If you've been live with us on the internet from whatever means, whether you're watching on YouTube, on the BRKC channel, on Facebook, it doesn't matter. We hope you've enjoyed it. And we've got more coming up tomorrow. We've got the second half of the third round of heats. We've got the fourth round of heats, and then, of course, the semi-finals and the final. And of course, there's a lot up for grabs in that final. £1,000 to the winner. That's an incredible amount of money to win, purely for a rental kart race. So £1,000 for the winner, and top 3 go to the Kart World Championship. Free entry for them. That saves them a fair bit of money. There's a couple of extra trophies: the Camho Trophy, the Genevieve Reason Trophy, and of course, I think we've had the offer of a few other prizes as the event's gone on from other race organisers elsewhere in Europe. So we'll see exactly how that does pan out. Meantime, good night, everybody. Some great racing. Please join us tomorrow, and we'll carry on where we left off in the morning with the breakfast show and then Heat 6 of this third round. Thank you very much. I'm James All. This is the British Rental Kart Championship 2017.